Hi, welcome back to ReaL. I'm Keara Bennet.
And I'm Beevers.
And today we're joined by Hanna Butcher, aka Butch, aka Mum.
Leeds Rhinos captain.
Nice to have for the nice intro.
Welcome. That's not quite a nice intro in comparison to the Dewsbury Massive that we're going to elaborate on just
You
now.
have to get Dewsbury.
Did you wait?
I'd like to think what else you've got in there.
So we're going to do a mini intro just about you and your playing career. So you started playing rugby at 7 years old.
Yeah.
Same as me, proper babies. At Thornhill.
Yes.
Then you moved to Shawcross at the age of 12 due to not being able to play with the boys anymore. Stopped playing about 14, 15 and rejoined at Thornhill for open age at 24 to 25-year-old.
Yes.
Your stats for Leeds Rhinos:
Hey.
77 appearances,
Really?
32 tries. And I'm telling you now, 30 of them have been scored since you've been at this year.
That's so true.
7 goals. That classy boot.
I remember that day.
Yeah, that were a wakey.
That would be a look.
We were like, get her on kicking duties again. 142 points, whilst winning 1 league leaders, 2 challenge cups, and 2 grand finals.
Wow. Who's done them stats for you?
We've done them, obviously.
Yeah.
All our hard work. So it's been a long time at Leeds Rhinos.
Yeah. Since 2018. So.
Day oneers.
Yeah, from the very, very beginning.
So firstly, like how and why did you get into Rugby League?
So I was always a bit of a tomboy at school. Used to play a lot of football with the lads at school. And then they played for a rugby team outside of it. And I thought, I'm going to give it a go. So I just started going with them. When I got there, there were already about 3 or 4 girls playing on the team. So it wasn't new. I know it's new to you when you started, really, wasn't it?
I was the only girl in my division.
So I think we were the team in the league that had the most girls. Like, we used to turn up for games and they'd be like, oh my god, we're going to smash these, because there were so many of us. But we held it up, we were all right, and the lads looked after us. So, yeah, and then I carried on playing, went to Shawcross when I couldn't play with lads anymore, did a few years there, and then packed it in then for quite a few years at Ashton, and then rejoined back when I was like 24, 25. Thornhill started a team. I think Dewsbury had started a team up the previous year, and my mum used to go and watch them all the time. And then Thornhill said, we're going to start one up, so I went there and played Winter League. Yeah. It's like a stone's throw away from Beevers Park, so it was ideal.
I remember I were out for the game. I think I did something to my shoulder, and I turned up. And what colour hair did you have?
I'd gone red.
Yeah, she had bright red hair. Bright red hair. And we were like, who is that girl with red hair on that t-shirt? Just going everywhere. She was like absolute maniac in defence. We're like, it's Hanna Butcher, and I'm like, who's Hanna Butcher? They're like, Hanna Butcher, you know Hanna Butcher. Dewsbury. But yeah, I think that then you actually frightened me, and I was glad that I didn't play that open age match.
So why did you get to Leeds Rhinos? Like what did you see there?
It was really weird. So Becca Oates, my mate at Huddersfield, she'd gone for the first Leeds Rhinos trials.
Okay.
And I didn't really know about them, didn't know. Anyway, I think she needed a lift at second one, so she put in a WhatsApp group and she was like, can anyone get me there? So I said, I can take you on a Wednesday, it was ideal for me. So I messaged, I thought, well, if I'm going, I might as well join in. So I messaged Lois on Facebook and I said, I didn't come to the first ones, can I come to the second?
Yeah.
And she says, I'll have to look into it because I think they'd already taken someone from the first trial and then they had some more back, for the second.
Yeah.
Anyway, she got back and said, yeah, you can join in. So I joined in that second trial at, is it John Charles?
Yeah, we're at John Charles Stadium, yeah.
Yeah, and then signed from there. So it were a bit
last minute.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm actually shocked.
Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
I never knew that.
So you weren't, Super League weren't really an attraction for you, it was literally just helping out a mate?
I didn't really know much about the Super League at
Yeah.
that time. I didn't really know. Like, obviously, I played winter.
Yeah.
So I knew that league better than the Summer League. I knew the Summer League were probably better in terms of, everybody's capabilities were a bit better.
Yeah.
But, I just knew the Winter League, so I didn't know.
That's so crazy. And have you got a team you follow?
Well, when I was younger, my best friend's dad, he played for Bradford Bulls.
Okay, yeah.
So they used to have season tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd go with, if like her sister wasn't going, I'd go with them and we'd go to watch Bradford together. So it was Bradford, and I can remember we used to go to the games at Odslow, and we used to be singing these chants against these rhinos, and now I think I can't believe it.
I want to repeat them.
You're the true Judas, not Lois.
So I didn't follow a team really as such, you know what I mean? Just went with the flow, but then since being at Leeds, it's Leeds.
Nice.
So, you've been at Leeds since day one. Could you ever have imagined being the captain?
No. I can always remember the first season at Leeds, it was a shock to the system. You go from playing like at community level and they had all these standards that we spoke about earlier, and training we got flogged. You knew about it, and then you had your gym as well, so that was completely different. And I found it really tough, especially that first season, just adapting to everything. But year on year, you get people leaving and people coming in, and I'm glad I'm still here. But no, captain, I didn't expect it, even though I've been vice for a few years. I was happy at vice, You can't be captain like crazy lady. So I was quite happy there, and I was shocked to be asked.
Yeah.
Really.
So when you actually found out you were gonna be, who was like the first people like you talked to about it?
I didn't tell anyone at home.
Did you not?
No, I didn't tell anyone at home. Not even my mum. She found out when it was announced through Leeds.
Oh my
Was she angry?
And Dean found out, and I lived with him. Yeah, he was like, "Why haven't you mentioned it?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, just didn't do it." But my mum said, I can't believe it. But I've always worried about the media side of stuff, so I've never been very good at interviews and stuff like that. As soon as you put like a microphone, I go. But this year it's been alright. It's actually.
Look at you now, you're on a podcast.
I know.
We did the Challenge Cup and Media Day, and there was the men's players and the women. So Hannah were up with Jodie. I think you were the only person to get asked questions, and then they just stopped.
Yeah. What are the chances of that? Everyone else had been, really probably trained at interviews and. Oh no. But we were alright, it wasn't too bad.
No, you did really well. I was like, go on.
And what's been like the responsibilities in terms of how have you had to adapt with that? How do you think like being a player and then obviously having this leadership role, how's that affected you?
To be honest, it's probably bettered me as a person. Like, I could now do things like this. It's probably made me a bit more confident at work as well, so not just at rugby. I can remember the first game this year as captain, and my biggest worry was, what do I say in the team talk? Like, what do I say? Whereas with Courtney, you see, when she used to do it, it just seemed so natural, whatever she said, and I'm thinking, I was trying to pre-plan them a little bit, and I don't think that's the right road to go down. I think you need to go with the emotion on the day.
Yeah.
So that side of it. But we've got a good leadership team, so it's not all pressure on a captain, is it? Like, I used to say sometimes it's just the coin toss and shaking ref's hand and opposition's hand that makes me any different to anybody else in the team, because we're all doing the same thing. It's just them two little things, really, isn't it? So.
Yeah. I think you're very passionate with your team talk.
Yeah, I think it's something that we said before we started the season. We were like, how do you follow on from Courtney? Like, how do you do that? And then you've literally just got to make the role your own, because nobody can follow that. Like, no, even if people planned it, people couldn't follow that. It's a different kind of captain, that, isn't it?
But then, like, now, like, you're doing such a good job anyway. Like,
I think there's probably a lot more swear words. You know, whereas Courtney went about things, she turned it as if we weren't playing a game of rugby. She had like these analogies to things. And
metaphorical stuff.
Yeah. It's like we're going to go out and start skipping.
And I used to think, you know, I need to start thinking like that. I'm thinking, no, I'll be just Googling everything. Like, I don't know how to. So, yeah, it's just a bit more, I think, a bit more direct and a bit more swearing, a bit more.
I think we're just getting very passionate, don't
Yeah.
we? We're just like, we need to do
Passionate.
this.
So we're not going to like lay under the stars and like hold hands.
Yeah, that's funny.
So we've talked about how you've grown from being in the amateur game to Leeds Rhinos, the professional environment. How have you found like the transition, and how have you found the growth of the game?
What do you mean in terms of transition? Like from
Well, you kind of based on it where you said it was hard the first year to get used to.
Oh yeah, so for me it was. I've always been quite a self-sufficient, independent woman. Obviously, I've got Ashton, so there were just me and Ashton at home. So when I signed for Leeds, it was like I had to rope the family in from the off and say, look, if I get through, if I get in this team, I'm going to need help with childcare on a Tuesday and a Thursday. I think we used to train Wednesday, Fridays in first year. Something rings a bell with Wednesday, Fridays.
I don't recall that.
Whether it was just a stint that we did. So yeah, it was like to go from run your house, kid, work, and then fitting this in and having to rely on people. I found that were really hard. I mean, my family loved it, or they say they loved it, but it was tough, you know, because I was just very reliant on other people, like who picked Ashton up from school, who took him to football training, because that was on the day that training was. So my mum got that job, and she used to take him to football training at Murfield Free Grammar School, and she used to sit in like a school sports hall on like a little bench, you know, those little wooden benches, and get the balls blasted at her for an hour. I got out of that. And then if my grandparents had him, which they had him a lot, I used to go to pick him up 9:30 at night or whatever. My grandma had me like a plate of tea ready.
Oh.
So I'd be walking out with my son, a chicken dinner and like a jug of gravy. Like,
sounds ideal.
Yeah.
That sounds like the dream.
That is such a grandma thing to do, isn't it?
But the training side is completely different. It's like, it was just a real shock to the system, because when I played for Thornhill women, we'd have like a WhatsApp group, and it was like, who's training tonight? And there might have been like 5 people that could make training, because everyone works, kids, you know. And it'd be like, right, you can go into the gym if you want, or we can call it off tonight. Whereas at Leeds it was, you're training, you're on time, you're in your right kit, you know, like everything was just so regimented, especially in that first season. We didn't dare talk, like, you know, you didn't really dare talk to each other going into it. So yeah, real shock.
Wow. So in terms of your support network and stuff, obviously I feel like we've got to talk about Beth. Like, she is your she's your number one supporter, like, and you've got such a good like support network, like.
You can see the Butchers from a mile
Yeah.
off. They've always got the biggest banner anybody's ever seen.
They've all got new printed shirts.
Yeah,
my mum and Beth and my little sister have, so my mum, she comes to every game, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's every game, really involved. As soon as she sees how's rugby, how's this, she likes to know a lot about it. She even takes herself off. She'll go watch games that Leeds aren't playing in, you know. She might go watch like Huddersfield, St Helens or something, you know. She just enjoys rugby, I think. And obviously my sisters and my brother, they come to games. Ashton, strangely enough, is just not interested whatsoever. If he had to come to a game, it would be like the worst day of his life. That's how he portrays it to me. And then Dean comes to him. He hadn't come to that many this year. We were just saying the other night he hadn't come to as many. Well, you know, he's busy working weekends and stuff. So yeah.
That's cool. I mean, like, so when you started Rhinos, how old would Ashton have been then?
They're about 6.
Okay, so that's still young. How was that for him, like you leaving him and not being there as much as well?
They were probably quite happy with that.
Just mum's out for hours.
Yeah, you got to spend time with my grandparents and my grandma and granddad who would have just waited on him hand and foot, spoiled him rotten. And then, then you can't leave your grandparents' house without taking some sort of food, can you?
Yeah, that's right. I was actually saying that to my grandma. She says the other day, you always like to eat when you're here. I don't know, it's just a thing at your grandparents' house.
You just feel very comfortable, don't you?
Yeah, so he didn't, and I think it's probably now because he's so used to it. I mean, he's 12 now, and he's just so independent. So we've gone full circle. We've gone at a time where it was really difficult for me to get childcare and stuff like that. It seemed like it were quite stressful.
But so there we've briefly talked about your family, your support network and stuff like that, and how it were initially hard to balance home life and stuff like that. But how do you find the balance now in terms of working full time? You were doing college last year, being a mum, rugby, everything just on your plate.
I think I'm probably at my peak now. I don't think I could physically take much more than what I do. Like this week I'm out training 2 nights. We went somewhere Monday night. We went to a nice event Monday. We're out yesterday for my brother's birthday. So like every night doing something, working full time, juggling it. I've got plans for the weekend. Obviously we're training Sunday, so just no time at the moment for anything else. I'm like,
It just wipes you out. Like we said that we did something on Monday. We did this event, and we went up to each other on Tuesday going, "Are you tired?" I was like, "I'm really tired." Are you really tired? It just completely wipes you out. And like you said, like it's hard to find just a chilled night, especially when you're getting so late from rugby. I always feel like I literally have something to eat, shower, and bed.
Yeah. So, I just think there's so many roles as well, isn't there? Like the energy of being a mum and then in the zone at training, like you're then a leader and then being a worker, like that is hard, isn't it? Like
put different heads on for different things.
Yeah, definitely. So within your rugby, have you had to make many sacrifices with being a mum?
In terms of like when I originally got the England call up and stuff, that was tough because obviously you're really excited, aren't you? You think this is great. And I was probably at the peak at that point, and I was at college and I had assignments due and I was training at Leeds and we were playing Sundays and England trainings like Saturdays 7 while 1 and I just didn't have any time and I was chasing my tail. I was just playing catch up constantly in terms of like the programme that we'd been given. I just felt like if I couldn't do the gym that day then I would have to do it that day, but then I had a running session and just mentally, it was just really, really draining for me. So I spoke with Craig Richards at the time, and I said, there's too much going on. I'm struggling, and he said, I respect your decision. I'm glad that you feel that you can talk to me. I want to take a squad to, with this World Cup, we want to win, and I'd rather you just be honest from the off. So it was really understanding. He did check in on me a couple of times. And then when COVID came, I spoke to him again. He said, "Are you in that position? Has anything changed?" And I said, "Yeah, I need to get out of the house." We were all stuck in, weren't we? Yeah. We were all stuck in. So went back, did a few sessions, really enjoyed it. Then it were like an 8-week block. I can remember going back to an 8-week block because it were 8 Saturdays consecutively. And Dean and Ashton's dad were working one Saturday, so I had no childcare. So I had to say, look, I can't come, I've no childcare. And then the following week it was the same. And I thought, I'm going to have to pull out here because you want to be 100% dedicated to something, don't you? Especially playing for your country. Yeah. And I knew that I couldn't be, and I felt bad on the girls in the team. Like, how do they feel that I'm missing these sessions? If everybody else can get to them. Yeah. So then I came out at that point, and that was just mainly due to like childcare and stuff. But I still love the World Cup. You know, I came to watch the World Cup games. We came with my mum. We had some right days out, and it were really good. And I didn't ever feel that. Oh, well, you know, I could have been. I actually enjoyed being a spectator. So, yeah.
So you're not overly disappointed about the way that it happened. You were happy to still be part of it, but in a different way.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? And I think
that,
it's just one of those things. Like, no hard feelings. Just enjoy being part of it. Yeah, as a spectator, it were good. Came with me Leeds flag.
Yeah. The one it's split in the middle.
Yeah,
in England.
Yeah, supporting. Yeah.
So on the back of that, if we talk in general, what's been like your highlights of like your playing career?
As we've mentioned, you've been in a lot of silverware.
Yeah, let's talk about Wembley
games.
actually. So Wembley, this historic occasion, and then you're now the captain of Leeds Rhinos. You're leading your team out. Like, that was a proud day.
For a historic day.
It was a really proud day. Really good, really big build up.
Yeah.
Really big build up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really proud moment, and I didn't really. I don't think about things in advance.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until my mum actually said to me, you and Jodie are going to be the first women's captains to lead out your teams.
Yeah.
Step on that pitch to play.
And I was like, oh my god.
Don't tell me that.
That is such a new thing.
Everyone kept saying to me, they were like, how do you feel? And I'm like, just normal. And then as soon as we got on the coach to go there, I was like, oh my god, like this is going to be a really, really big weekend.
Yeah. But having said that, like I enjoyed the grand final last year.
Oh,
I just thought that were absolutely class, wasn't it? Really, really tough. Obviously, we picked up a few injuries at back end as well. Like, we just did it, didn't we? It was just amazing.
That day, it was just unreal, wasn't it? Get a bit teary-eyed, didn't
I remember we were just. You could look around the room and you could just totally read the room in terms of everyone were like, we've got it. And we were just like so chilled about it.
Yeah. We worked hard. We worked really, really hard for that as well, didn't we? And I can remember feeling that like come the back end of that season, probably last 4 weeks or so, we just started, everything was just gelling really, everything was working.
Yeah.
You know, as defence, what we were doing in defence, it just felt like we were winning this game 100%, and we went in with that positivity, didn't we? And just
this togetherness, wasn't it? Just like everyone bought in for each other.
I do believe losing the Challenge Cup was a massive part of that.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, we're not doing that again. We're just not doing that again.
Yeah. And Lois is one of these. If you know, when we lost out at Wembley this year, you know, she says you watch these girls now, and she's very. She wants you to feel good, doesn't she? And rightly so, you know, because they put a lot of hard work in as well as us.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're quite hard moments, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. It's a sight you don't want to see, is it?
Yeah.
I remember just going, can I go? Because I'm a mess. I'm like, can I go? Please, I don't want to carry on watching this.
And it seems to drag on for so long.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. But then also, like, on the back of the grand final, I just remember all, like, the chants and stuff on the bus. Like, the bus drive home was, like, the vibe was immaculate.
I can't remember much about the bus drive. I probably drunk a crate off.
I do feel like that's the most together we've felt, because we had so many new people coming in, and like you said, we had so many injuries, and that at that point, like you said, we just gelled.
Yeah, it was great.
It was a good environment. But are you saying last year's grand final was the highlight?
Probably, yeah. Probably go with that one. Yeah, I tend to forget a lot of stuff.
It's a hard one to overcome that.
Yeah.
This year will be the best one to be. We'll be here this year, won't we?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Right. To finish off on, we've got a bit of a game, Hanna Butcher. It's all good. It's all a laugh.
I feel like we need context behind the game. So So Butch, you are like well known for being from Dewsbury. That song we just sing your chant. What's the name? Hanna Butcher. Where's she from? Dewsbury.
Did you make that?
Yeah, I'm from, wasn't it? Where are you from?
We made up a lot of chants last year.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, so because you're from Dewsbury,
So proud about it as well.
Yeah. We thought, why not do a true or false thing about Dewsbury? See how well you know where you're from.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we've got a few like questions. If you think it's true, say true. If you think it's false, say false. Right. So, Dewsbury is the largest town like to ever exist.
False.
It's actually true that.
The largest town?
Yeah.
Apparently. When she told me, I was like, nah, that's not real.
Huddersfield's a town.
No, I don't think it is.
It is. It's not a city. Huddersfield's not a city.
I think it's.
It ain't.
Huddersfield is a city, isn't it?
No, it ain't. It ain't. It's something to do with cathedrals, isn't it?
It's if they've got a town centre in them, isn't it?
No,
It's a church.
It's something to do with cathedrals. I'm sure of it. It's Huddersfield's a town.
No, but I'm just saying,
Right.
when I looked on the internet, it said Dewsbury is the largest town to exist.
Where are you looking?
We'll check this later.
We'll
can
definitely
you
check
that?
it.
Because I don't believe it.
Dewsbury is known for its pubs.
Maybe true, you know.
I feel like that is a true false one, to be fair. It could be a middle.
It's false. What's it known for? Textiles.
Yeah, it's actually known for textiles.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of like old mills. So
Old mills, yeah.
That used to be a load of mills.
My grandma used to work in the mill.
Did she?
Yeah.
What's that? Just a place where you make textile stuff?
Yeah.
Is
Just that.
Okay. Why do I not know about this? Right, this is a very controversial one, so I don't know how you're going to feel about this. Dewsbury people eat bread cakes, not tea cakes.
It's a tea cake.
It's a bread
I
cake!
told you.
It's not, it's a bread cake.
She went to me earlier, she was like, what do you lot call a bread cake? And I'm like, for starters, it's a tea cake.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's a bread
A
cake.
tea cake has got currants in, does it not?
That's a currant tea cake. And then you've got a tea cake.
No.
Yeah.
It's a bread cake.
It's a bread cake.
Where you got that question? Because I think that's seen in loads of different areas. So it's not to do just with Dewsbury. That
Lancastrians call them barms.
Or what else?
Like a sausage barm.
A bap. Yeah, a
Bap. I call
Yeah.
it butty.
See, I could agree
Bacon
with bap. Or a butty. Sausage
Butty.
butty.
Yeah.
Chip butty.
Shit butty.
Yeah. Right.
And
Last
but not least, and she can't read it from there. Hanna Butcher is the best thing to come out of Dewsbury.
False. My son is.
Floodgates are out, Jesus.
That's actually so cute.
But how was your experience on ReaL been?
Good, yeah. It's just chill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Funny, lots of giggles.
That's what we like. That's what we like, a bit of chill.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Mum.
Thank you for
You're going to make me tea later?
I'm hoping Dean's making mine.
Actually, we need to talk about your retirement.
Oh.
We can't miss your retirement.
To get this one back in.
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
can
have to
rearrange. So, last year was your last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was your reasoning to Lois for coming back? I want it word for word, please.
To be honest, it was more mental. It was more a mental thing. I was just bored. You get so used to the routine, don't you?
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm going to see how it goes on break and everything. And I met Lois a couple of times. And then I just rung her one day and I was like, can I come back? Can I just come back? And she got me back in secret, so she didn't tell. Dave and Ant were doing, they were in doing training in like November. You guys will have been like recovering and that, won't you?
Yeah.
And she said, I'm not going to tell anyone, you're just going to turn up. So that was quite funny.
I heard it was because you didn't want to do washing up or cooking anymore.
Oh, she didn't want to
yeah,
do
and that
her
as well.
cooking anymore.
You just get
tidying up.
You get fed up with doing the same thing, don't you? Yeah, that is true as well. Like, you do get, on a night at home, you just washing, cleaning, cooking.
Yeah.
Get me out. Get me running.
Get
I'm a
me
bronco
running.
over that.
I was so glad you did come back.
I am.
Thank you.
I was like so happy that day. I was like, oh my god. I think, do you remember like me and Courtney FaceTiming you? It was like around the World Cup time. It was like, you're not retiring. You was on holiday at that time.
I'm in Tenerife.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, when she retires, pigs will fly off.
Yeah.
I remember saying to people, she was like, presentation, I'm retiring. And I remember whispering to someone, no, she ain't. No, she ain't. Who's she kidding?
And now, like, look at you now. You never will.
Captain.
I know, I'm still when I'm 80, won't I?
Yeah. We'll have a Masters for you waiting.
You'd still be hardest out on field. You still won't care about who's running at you. What's the best position that you played for Leeds? This is the question.
Oh, I don't know, you know. I've played a bit all over, haven't I?
Yeah, especially this year.
Yeah, this year, how many positions?
I don't know. To be fair, I've not minded going back to half-back this year.
Yeah.
I've not minded it. I think at centre, being a leader, you feel a little bit isolated because you're just on one edge.
Yeah.
Whereas half, I know it's only one in really in the defensive line, but you know, in an attack, you're more in the middle. So
when you got 13, did you play much of 13?
I think I played a couple of games at 13. Then I went to second row.
Yeah.
Then I went to centre.
Yeah.
You know, I always find at Leeds, because we always get so many injuries each year, nobody ever gets what's on the back of the shirt. Apart from like the spine. Yeah, apart from like the spine.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get it, do they? But it's just a utility.
But we just muck in where we can, can't we?
I don't think anybody really complains. I think everyone's just...
I'm waiting for this
just buzzing to be there.
I'm ready to be like prop. I'm ready to be like...
You've played a bit of 13 this year, haven't you?
Yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Go for it, Keara.
Lois
Bring it in
She
forward.
was like, absolutely not.
I'll tell you where to go, yeah.
And Lois called me over this year and she was like, oh, Caitlin, come have a chat. And I'm like, yeah. And someone went, she's going to ask you to play forward. I went, I hope not. And then I came over, she went, what did they say? And I went, they told me that you're going to ask me to play forward. She was like, not this week, but keep that in mind. I was like, no, I am not forward. I was like, I don't think a back can do that. Well, me as being a back. But yeah, thank you for joining the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, girls.
It's been a lot of fun.
It's been emotional.
No, you'll get her off without
Right,
she is.
because we've got to get to training.
Right, so thank you very much for watching or listening on both. Let's hope that you can make the next one for episode 6. See you later.
Bye.